All right, so first I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem Rakakodash, which is all praises to the Heavenly Father, name of His Son, name of the Holy Spirit. Also, say double honors to the apostles and elders of James Crippin Stone, and to the Akim that are out in the hours and ages, pushing this truth in sincerity, the full elect. Shalom. This is the brother Kanan. You're another lesson, and in this lesson, this video that you have on screen here, you know what I mean, is evidence or more evidence as to why citizenship can never determine your birth, your nationality, who you are. You know what I mean? It's something that was changed to deceive and to create deception, right? And the fact that they're debating about it now, it's evident to prove that it was never so in the beginning, right? They changed it. The so-called white man changed it, right, to basically to create this confusion, which goes back to Babel, right? To go back to Babel, the Tower of Babel, which is confusion, and the Lord is not the author of confusion. So anybody that you hear teaching or preaching or speaking in any form that they are a godly person and they tell about we are one people and out of many one people, or they believe in this America vision about this one people, this is confusion again, and it's against God, right? It is against God, and those people have no godliness in them. They don't know God, right? And they don't understand that God is not dealing with that, right? That is clear and easy to understood, but again, the Lord is only working with a like few. Alright, so I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna get into the video, right? Getting some scriptures, right? So let's start.
In the United States, if you sneak into the country as an illegal alien and have a child, you are still subject to a foreign power, meaning your home country. So therefore, under the 14th Amendment, you're not subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and you haven't met the criteria to be a citizen. And that's a pretty straightforward argument. But of course, there's a vested interest on the other side to say that anyone born in the United States is an American citizen. And the only reason why that interpretation has lasted as long as it has is because, as you know, there's been no ability to challenge this in court, because the only people withstanding are people that benefited from this wrong interpretation of the law. Everyone else had no standing until this executive order by President Trump.
I'm going to push back slightly. You said it's the other side, Democrats specifically, and you're 100% right on that. But I would also argue Republicans have not been as enthusiastic, let's say, as you are, that this is going to be a win for their side. The prevailing wisdom, as you well know, is that this court is going to keep birthright citizenship in place. So, with that as the baseline, what questions do you expect these justices to ask at oral arguments today? Who are you paying attention to? And ultimately, what does your gut tell you as to how the court will rule when they rule in a few months?
Well, this court is very much an originalist court. And what that means, as you know, Todd, as an attorney yourself, is you look at the text of the relevant law, this is the 14th Amendment, and you look at the surrounding history. There is already a group of people that were born in the United States at the time of the 14th Amendment, but were not made citizens because they were subject to a foreign power. And that was the Native American population. The Native American population was born in the United States in the late 19th century at the time of the 14th Amendment, but they were not American citizens. Why? Because they were subject to a foreign power in the form of their tribes. So there's clear historical evidence here in addition to the text as to what it means. And again, because this is an originalist court that...
Let's take a pause there. So the true people that lived in the land of America from the get-go, the Native Americans, were never seen as Americans when they were passing this law for birthright citizen. And their justification for that was because they had allegiance to another power, political power. That's what I've been saying. That's what the term citizenship goes back into, right? It was changed. It's a political thing. It's government. It's not dealing with anything have to do with who you truly are. It's about political allegiance and in being a part of a state, right? Or a part of a country per se, not necessarily nationality, right? Because but then when the true definition of nationality goes back to your kinship, who your father was, or you know what I mean? Whoever your father, you are your father, and the seed pass on. But they change it in the 1800s, right, to mean something different. So it's now politically aligned on who you are allegiant to. So now you can get your citizenship from various reasons. And there's a set of people that always has been doing this, which is so-called white man, right? Which I'm going to go to the scriptures as well, but I'm just going to eat some of them, right? Antiochus Epiphanes, right? The Greeks. And why they always do this? Because the so-called white man is the nation that goes around, the Edomites, they go around and they steal people identity. So they took the term Greeks from the true Greeks and call themselves Greeks. They were never the true Greeks, right? And they wanted everybody that were under them to become Grecians, right? The Romans, the same. They were never the true Romans, right? Those are Japhetic people. Grecians and Romans are Japhetic people. But when the so-called white man took over Rome and all of that, right? Their laws was basically you can become Roman citizen. Hence why Paul, born in Rome, was a Roman citizen, but he was an Israelite by nationality because his father was and he might give him lineage. We're going to get those scriptures as well, right? So it's pretty simple, but because people are so into the so-called white man deception, right, that they've given to them and they've grown to accept it, they're no lost. Your foreparents were never seen as so-called Jamaicans until they changed these laws. They were never seen as so-called Americans until they changed these laws. The slaves weren't called Americans until they passed the law in them constitution so you can be a citizen. They were never seen as American citizens. What were they? They were nobodies. They were, of course, they were someone. They are the Israelites, the lost sheep of the house of Israel that came into captivity according to the scriptures. But again, a lot of people are lost to these simple facts. And that's why some people over there in the Middle East is stealing their land. Because when the so-called white man, who again loves to steal people's identity because they stole the Egyptian identities, and they stole our identity, which is the main and most important thing, being the Israelites. They stole that when they were sent over there in the land of Israel. All the Arab nation around Egypt and the other Arab nation them around that region, they know that these people weren't Israelites, and they have been fighting from back then. Israel has never been in peace since they go back at that. I say Israel. The Israelites have never been in peace. They have always been in war, going there because nobody don't accept them. Egypt said the Egyptian, I don't remember the person name, he said they left black and they came back white. They know they're not the true Israelites. And Egypt was one of the first person to accept them because, again, buyout. You know what I mean? So the history goes into something. But I'm not going to stray from what's on video. I'm going to get the scriptures as well. So let me play some more.
Focuses on the text and the history at the time a law was enacted. That's where they're going to be focusing on what was the understanding of Congress and the people that ratified the 14th Amendment in the year of our Lord, 1868.
I am not...
Hear that? 1868. They passed the law to allow people that are born there to be so-called American citizen. Not what nationality? What nationality? No, you have Chinese, Arabs, Edomites, all type of different people calling themselves the same people, Americans. Same for Jamaica. And their Jamaica motto is out of many, one people. Out of many. Let's hear the Bible say about this out of many, one people. Bull crap. Right? Let me get to that real quick. Right? So this is Genesis 11. I'm just going to go straight to the point. And verse 6, and the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they all one language, and this they begin to do, and no, nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of the earth, and they left off to build the city. The Lord scattered them, right? Therefore is the name of it called Babel, confusion, because the Lord did there confounded the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. God did that. And when Yahushua returned, he says he's gonna scatter, he's gonna separate the sheep from the goats, and the sheep are who? The lost sheep of the house of Israel. And the other nations, them all get separated from Israel, because the Lord is a separatist. He's dealing with his people. But these are simple things that people can't understand or get. Now let's get into some of the, I was making mention of some of the things. I'm going to read them, some of the scriptures them about them. So this is Maccabees, First Maccabees. This is First Maccabees chapter 1. I'm going to go straight to the point. Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. These are the so-called Grecians who took on the people them heritage and call themselves Grecians. They wanted all to be one people. Again, Babylon Jews. Again, something that God hates. Again, people that are today that are saying this, you are against God. You're anti-Christ. You're anti-God. Because you're not dealing with God dealing with. So how dare you say that you're godly and God in you? You're not with God, right? You're not on the same part with God, and therefore God's gonna destroy you unless you repent. Let me get to the next scriptures because there are so many, right? All right. So let's do Paul, right? So let me just go straight to it. So this is Romans 11 and verse 1. I say then, had God cast away his people? God forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Paul is giving his lineage based on his father, Abraham, the forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They gave you that lineage, and then they come down to the 12 tribes. So he's the seed of Abraham, and he's of the tribe of Benjamin, meaning he's of the seed of Benjamin as well. He's descend from Benjamin. That's a lineage, right? But again, people don't understand the simple logics, and they're being deceived and robbed of their heritage because they don't understand this. And that this makes them what? The people of God, and they deserve way more. So they're here fighting for scrums to be a part of a political alignment. Naive and lost. Let's read some more. This is 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 22. Are they Hebrews? Israelites? Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Paul is telling you that he is an Israelite. He's an Israelite of Abraham, Benjamin lineage by seed, right? By seed. He never said because him born on one land, but by seed, right? So the Israelites are Israelites by seed. That means the Edomites are Edomites by seed. And all the other 18 nations are all the 18 nations that exist. All the nations that exist are nationality based on seed. And anything else that is being used to determine nationality is a deception to keep you lost. Alright? Now hear what Paul said. Right? So let's go to this. So this is Acts. Let me just go to this real quick. Bear with me. Alright, so this is Acts 21 and verse 37. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, Canst thou speak Greek? Art thou not that Egyptian which before these days made us an uproar and led us out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? Let's pause there. the captain is calling Paul a Egyptian because what? Paul dark. That's why I mistake him for Egyptian. But let's continue. But as in dark skin, when I said dark, right? But Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew, right? As the tribe of the kingdom of Judah, he's of the kingdom of Judah, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, right? Of Tarsus, right? So he is of Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, a citizen of no mean city, right? And I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto the people, right? So let's jump to 22, right? And verse 25. And as they bound him with tongues, Paul said unto the centurion that stood by, is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman and uncondemned? When the centurion heard that, he went and told the chief captain, saying, take heed what thou doest, for this man is a Roman. Then the chief captain came and said unto him, tell me, art thou a Roman? He said, yea. Let's continue. And the chief captain answered, with a great sum obtain I this freedom. And Paul said, but I was freeborn. So Paul was born, as he said over here in the first part already in 21, that he was born in Rome, which made him a citizen of Rome, right? But the chief captain purchased his citizenship, which you can do the same thing in America today. There are means that if Trump wanted to put certain amount of money that you could pay to become a citizen of America, right? Biden's coming there, right? And you have these so-called people that are born there that are so-called American citizen. But none of that determine that what your nationality is. You're a citizen because you're in a political country that's run by political laws or laws of the country that basically are try to teach really from who you are as a people, who your foreparents are, right? Just like Rome. There were slaves in Rome. We weren't ruling in Rome, right? The so-called white man rule in Rome. It's the same thing happening today. They are ruling, right? And their laws exist. And the citizenship gave them certain freedom, just like in America. If you're an illegal alien in the country, certain laws our benefits don't apply to you. But if you're an American citizen, meaning you're born there, you got the citizenship through whatever it means, then they have to be careful how they deal with you because there's a constitution that defends you. These are simple, basic logics that a lot of people cannot grasp. This is how dumbed down our society has become. This is how stupid our people has become. They are lost sheep that are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Basic, simple knowledge. Let's play some more.
Supreme Court justice yet, but I think your argument really did sell me. Yeah, but the people that are also had a major ruling yesterday. The state of Colorado cannot enforce its conversion therapy ban with Colorado people that live there because it violates the First Amendment. Specifically, how vital is this ruling? An 8-1 ruling. You got a couple of very, very liberal justices to buy in. How vital is this ruling to preserve free speech protections, which, as you well know, have been under attack so much in recent years? About 30 seconds to you, Mark.
Well, this is a very important ruling because Colorado basically said that therapists that do talk therapy are allowed to encourage someone to convert to a different gender, but they were not allowed to encourage someone to remain the gender that they currently were born into, let's say. This is a very big deal because if you allowed Colorado to define the ability to define what you're allowed to say, because you have a professional license of any sort, that would have eviscerated the First Amendment for anyone, of course, that has some sort of professional granted to the state. It would be a condition of getting that license to basically the politically correct line, and the Supreme Court says no, can do. We're not going to let that happen.
I can't lift that out because different thing that him are going on, right? But you hear the Trump bull crap about trying to force this. They know that they're not the same people like you are. They understand America, making America great is really trying to make white people stay on top. Right? That's what Trump is about. That's why he's racist. That's why he posts a lot of things against other nations and he speaks about the other nations them that try to live in America. He said that the Latinos, they come from garbage countries. That's how we view about them. He said he speaks same way about black, dark skinned people, right? These are not things that are being hidden from you. It's just that people are naive and dumb, Kool-Aid brain. So right, so someone was edified, or we do this for the elect's sake. We know that a lot of people won't get this as simple as it is, right? So that I want to give all praise again to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.